Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered the U.S. to recognize only unchangeable male and female sexes and to swiftly end policies aimed at promoting racial equality, equity and protecting LGBTQI+ rights. Jabulani Pereira, LGBTIQA+ activist, joins us to further discuss this. Jabulani, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, as you listened to what U.S. President Donald Trump had to say in his address, I mean, he says that only two sexes, male and female, will be recognized. What was going through your mind?
Well, generally, that is the order of the world, that yes. Most countries, including South Africa, has two sexes in the world. So that is really, legally correct that there should be two sexes or X markers. Each country chooses different things. But I think what Donald Trump is referring to when he says two sexes is that he's essentially talking about the way in which he ran his election campaign, which is on the erasure of transgender people, meaning the prohibition of things such as sex education at school, the right to gender expression, the right to gender-affirming care, and for transgender people to rightfully exist through a process of self-determination in how they choose, or how I'm a trans man, how we choose to live in our existence. So I think there's a couple of things there that the two sexes are referring to, which is technically getting wrong, because transgender identity refers to gender identity and not sexes. So what they're wanting to filter down is that it's the erasure of transgender people through a legal process, meaning that there's a descriptor that it has to be linked to your biological sex. However, even that is factually incorrect, because globally we know that there are no two sexes in the world. There's a sex spectrum, which is male, female, intersex, transgender people. So there has never existed two sexes in the world. Historically, it's inaccurate. However, this is definitely feeding into a very distracted agenda that is being run by a very strong capitalist oligarchy of the US government right now under Donald Trump. This is a sheer distraction to the actual issues that are at hand here, is how are these people going to actually make more profit, how they're going to capitalize more, and how growing inequality is going to be exacerbated. So it's not just about two sexes. Donald Trump is really good at spinning inaccurate information, where he's speaking about Haitians eating dogs and cats, where he's speaking about people should add bleach into their drinks and inject themselves with bleach to avoid COVID. So this is a president that is known for factual inaccuracies.
With that, I mean, as he made the order, he moved to quickly end a range of policies aimed at promoting racial equity and protecting the rights for LGBTQI+ people. In terms of the societal impact, what do you think such a decision will result in, looking at society and its social ills and stereotyping? What are your thoughts around that?
Well, to call in, America is historically known for erasing so many identities. The whole land is based on a land that is stolen from indigenous people. So the consistent erasure of Black people, the consistent murdering of Black people by the police, like the entire system is an anti-Black system. So I think there's historical information that seeps into this. And when you see the Trump presidency and its administration being run by complete fascists, people who are leading an agenda that is based on hate and inequality, it just kind of speaks to the work that's still needed to be done in relation to the kind of vulnerabilities that people are experiencing, whether you are a migrant, whether you are a Black American or person of color in America, whether you have a disability, whether you are poor, whether you are homeless, whether you are trans. The list of attacks on the most vulnerable continues to grow in the face of the wealthy that is just profiteering off inequality. I mean, who knew you could make so much money off inequality? And they are certainly proving that through a vast prison system. The incarceration system in the US is extremely detrimental, particularly to Black men. So there's always been an anti-Black agenda when it comes to the US. Unfortunately, in South Africa, there are already white supremacists or people who want to argue around family values, saying that, oh, we need a similar Trump moment in South Africa. We need to have a better morality in our schools, meaning we don't need transgender children in our schools. So there are a lot of potential threats around our own system in South Africa. And thankfully, we have a constitution that protects us against all this cis supremacists and white supremacists that are trying to set agendas on how South Africa should be. And I think with the US, unfortunately, these executive orders really prove just how much danger lies when the power rests in the hands of a president.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we don't have that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for weighing in on this discussion. Jabulani Pereira, who's an LGBTIQA plus activist, expanding on some of the discussions. Of course, the address by US President Donald Trump when it comes to the gender and the sexes, pardon me, saying that he only recognizes male and female.